Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the borders of your country, the lines you see in school maps, are being argued with tanks. That's been Ukraine's reality for more than a decade. In the next 5 minutes, we'll follow 3 things: how this war began, the biggest turning points on the battlefield, and why, right now in late 2025, the word peace is back on the table. Let's rewind to 2014. After the Maidan protests and a change of government in Kyiv, Russia annexed Crimea and fighting erupted in the Donbas region. There were ceasefire agreements, but they never truly ended the conflict. The war didn't disappear, it froze, waiting for a spark. That spark became a wildfire on February 24, 2022. Russia launched a full-scale invasion, expecting a fast victory. Instead, Ukraine resisted. The assault on Kyiv failed, and Russian forces pulled back from the north. From that moment on, this stopped being a short campaign and turned into a long, grinding war. Ukraine's resistance brought something else: outside support. The United States and Europe began sending weapons, training, and financial aid. It wasn't just sympathy, it was survival. That support helped Ukraine stop Russia's momentum and prepare counterattacks. First major turning point. In autumn 2022, Ukrainian forces recaptured territory in Kharkiv and Kherson. For the first time, the world saw Russia forced to retreat. The idea of a Ukrainian victory stopped being a dream and started looking possible. But then 2023 cooled that hope. The front lines hardened. Trenches, massive minefields, and swarms of drones turned every kilometer into weeks of brutal attrition. No side could deliver a knockout blow. The war became less about dramatic breakthroughs and more about endurance. A quieter turning point followed. The war went global. Russia received drones, ammunition, and support from partners like Iran, Belarus, and North Korea. Ukraine, meanwhile, depended more and more on Western supply chains. The conflict turned into a contest of factories, alliances, and long-term logistics, not just soldiers in the field. Still, by 2025, the search for an exit began to resurface. There were short-lived truces and the first serious contact attempts since 2022, along with major prisoner exchanges. None of it produced peace. But it showed something important. Both sides want a way out that doesn't look like defeat. And just when it felt like a permanent stalemate, 2024 brought a surprise. Ukraine launched a daring incursion into Russia's Kursk region, aiming to pull Russian forces away from the east. It worked at first, then Russia flooded the area with reinforcements and stabilized the line. The message was clear: Ukraine could still innovate, and Russia could still absorb blows. Now we arrive in 2025, the year of exhaustion. Direct military aid from the US dipped during the summer, and Europe carried more of the burden. In total support, Europe has now overtaken the US, even though many key systems still come from American production. On the battlefield, Russia continues pressing in the east, areas like Kupiansk and around Pokrovsk, while Ukraine answers with layered defenses and long-range strikes. More and more, this war is artillery, drones, missiles, and supply routes. Victory isn't about flags on a map, it's about who can keep fighting longer. And here's today's cliffhanger. In November 2025, the US pushed a 28-point peace plan. Ukraine considers it too favorable to Russia. Europe has proposed changes. Russia rejects parts of the European draft, and now a revised version is being negotiated. Washington wants a deal soon, Kyiv demands real security guarantees and refuses to give up territory without them. Moscow wants recognition of its gains, nobody wants to be seen as the one who surrendered, but everyone feels the weight of the war. Beyond the maps, the human cost is staggering. Cities shattered, families torn apart, millions displaced, and generations living through trauma. The shockwaves spread outward. Energy prices, food supply instability when the Black Sea is threatened, and a world that's rearming because of what this war might mean for the future. So the question isn't only who wins, it's what kind of peace could actually last? A ceasefire that freezes the front? A deal that changes borders? Or a peace built on guarantees strong enough that this doesn't explode again in 5 or 10 years? Whatever happens in Ukraine will reshape Europe's security and test a terrifying idea: whether in the 21st century, borders can still be changed by force. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If peace were signed tomorrow, what should be non-negotiable so that peace isn't just a pause before another war?